I've left Airlie Beach and I'm off to Bowen. The reason being is I'd like to fly home, and I'd like to leave my boat somewhere, and the marina was too expensive, so I'm going to put it on the piles in Bowen with a friend Don who can look after it for me. Because I'll probably want to go home for 2 weeks, and you know, and 2 weeks ends up a month or something, so I'm going to, on peace of mind, I prefer it out on the piles than just anchored out. So pretty exposed there in Airlie Beach, you know. It only needs a bit of a storm to come up from somewhere that's not expected, and you know, it's very exposed anywhere from the north or from the east. Just heading round Pioneer Point, and I'll jibe and carry on north down to Bowen. I might sail on round Gloucester tonight and anchor the other side of Gloucester. I'm not sure yet. The wind's about 10 to 15, I'd think, and I'm on the run, and I haven't made my mind up what I'm going to put up, which jib I'm putting up, so I've just going with the main at the moment. I'll make my mind up when I turn the corner. Gloucester Island, 10 miles off. You can go either side, and you go round it to the west, or you can go around it to the east. So I'm going to go around it on the eastern side, and stay out to sea, and then just go around the corner and hopefully find a nice bay to anchor in for the night. I'm just coming to the end of
plenty on at the Strand ephemera if you have a spare couple of hours this weekend.
Gloucester Island now, and flying quite hard, kind of doing about 6 to 9 maybe on the GPS.
The warmest place now listening.
Getting a bit worried about how I'm going to get the pole down, but I think I'm going to jibe, and then I'll take the pole down then, I think, and there's no pressure on the sail. This is the end of Cape Gloucester, and Bowen is basically in there. Ahead now. I'm going to try and find some lee around the end of this Cape Gloucester, and then I'm going to anchor for the night. Going to Bowen tomorrow morning. My friend Don has organised me a pile mooring in there, but I don't want to wake him in the night. He's about 75, so I'll wake him in. I'll go and hopefully get in there fairly early in the morning. I'll get up. The wind's blowing like it is. You know, I'm doing 6 knots most of the time. I'm on 10 hooks at the moment. I'm behind this big hill here, and the bullets will come down in a minute, and I've got far too much sailor. But on my own, I'm finding it a bit hard to get it down between the gusts, because as soon as I get a gust, the autopilot can't cope. Yeah, I've taken the jib down now, and I'm motoring. I always don't like going around these big headlands because you do get these big bullets, and you don't know how big they're going to be. So anyway, we're doing all right. We'll get round the next corner, and hopefully I'll be able to anchor. As the sun's setting, I'm just entering Squally Bay on Cape Gloucester, which is about maybe 15 miles from Bowen. I wouldn't know. I'm just guessing that. I've not looked at the chart. About a 40-foot boat there. I believe it's a boating and fisheries patrol vessel. They check all your licenses and check that I got my life jackets and everything, so I may get a visit tomorrow morning, I think. It's pretty blowy in here. It's still blowing 15 knots, and you know, there's no chop or anything because it's blowing straight off the land, but I'd have thought the other side of this island with those big hills it would be pretty calm, but and maybe a few bullets, but it's pretty consistently blowing, so I'm going to have a cold night in here, I think. It's got a smashing dinghy on the back there, and it's come from Airlie Beach. Had a pleasant night on Stratus at Squall Bay on the northern side of Gloucester Island. Today I'm going to sail to Bowen, which is basically over there. There's a couple of islands and you can see a few houses on the hills. Well, basically that's Bowen somewhere in there, so I'm going to point the thing over there today and see how we go. Must be about a 12-mile sail, I suppose. Yeah, Bowen in the past was a very important port. A lot of cattle and wool got exported out of here. Oh, this is Bowen. There's a little marina owned by North Queensland Cruising Yacht Club, and I pulled up alongside Bowen public jetty to do my washing and to get some water on board before I put it on the mooring. my friend Don, who lives in Bowen and is retired and lives on his boat. He's just taken me over for a cup of tea. Don bought his boat probably 20 odd years ago, isn't it? And it came from Cairns. I haven't seen it probably for I'd say about 8 years now, and it's all up together. It doesn't look any different than when I left, except it's got a lot more shade. Looking back at Gloucester Island, in the centre of the photograph between the two islands is Monty's Resort. You can travel through there to Bowen. There's a lighthouse on the top of that the island in front. The island behind was originally used for storing gunpowder for the magazine. I assume for the Second World War, for the flying boats and everything. And then it was made into a resort, which is now closed. My boat's in there, and it's a great place to leave your boat while you go and pick your trailer up in Brisbane. You know, it's safe. You're on a pile mooring there instead of being at anchor off Airlie Beach. And the prices for the moorings are 7 times less than in Airlie Beach for a marina berth to a pile mooring. This is the end of my journey in Bowen, and it's rather sad to be finishing the journey and not carrying on, but I've got a family in Brisbane that I've got to tend to. This trip I don't think was as good as last year. The reef experience wasn't as good because it was every reef I went to was basically very cloudy, so going for a swim wasn't really appealing. I spent a bit of time at Great Keppel Island walking, and I reckon that's an underrated place. So if they're Great Keppel, quite nice place. Plenty of beaches, plenty of places to anchor your boat, and it was really nice there. I'm off back to the Whitsundays now to do a bit of work on the house. I'll live on the boat for a few days while I just treat a few timbers and stuff with preservative. And, on the way up I had a look at the house, and it looks in pretty good shape. Thank you for watching my channel. Please subscribe.